Leading off starts right now, right here on Fantasy Pros. I'm Chris Welsh. That is Casey Bubba in the house. We got a bald head back on the show. That's what we've needed, right? That's going to make the show all but better. Is having a good old bald head. If it's not piece of pia, it's Bubba. What's up, brother?
Not much, my friend. Thanks for having me. Yeah, I got to represent for the Baldies out there. But yeah, good times as always. Get to chat with you. Another Tuesday in the books for us.
That is right. And Aaron Judge hit his 50th homer of the year. Bubba Judge became only the seventh player in MLB history to hit 50 homers before the start of September. The last player to do so was his current teammate, Giancarlo Stanton. Aaron Judge. I saw a note. This was really interesting. Saw a note on Roto World this morning that was talking actually about Shohei Ohtani, just looking through some blurbs and whatnot. He had hit a homer yesterday. Good. And at the bottom of it, it said, Shohei Ohtani looking to be the favorite. And now maybe this is an out-of-touch Roto World writer, but looking the favorite to win another MVP award. And I looked at that and I was like, really? And I had to go back and look and see where we were. And Judge is still minus 900 for the award, Bubba. On DraftKings, Ohtani is plus 500. They're both doing great things. I've always been Team Ohtani. I think at this point, with the slowdown and how the team has performed, we don't really need to continue to have that conversation. But I just thought that was interesting that this is still floating out here. That after, him being, I actually have an interesting little mini trivia question for you here in a second. But as I said, only 7 players. Wasn't it? He was one of 7 that had hit 50 homers before the month of September. That's wild. That I just don't know that there's any way you're going to be able to take Judge off of this at this point.
Yeah, I've been Team Ohtani with you as well, and it's pretty crazy. But I didn't hear the interview you're speaking of, but I heard a different one, and they were still saying the same thing, that Ohtani's still the favorite, which is crazy. They can't read a betting line apparently. But we said all along, even if we've been Team Ohtani, that you can't go wrong with either guy, and that's going to be hard with Judge getting the 50, as you said. I'd still like to see Ohtani get it because what he does is ridiculous. But again, we could probably say this every year: Ohtani stays healthy, so you can't give it to him all the time.
Okay, so and this almost confused me, but of the 7 players, there were actually what would this number be here? I should have done this before. 10 seasons, 10 seasons essentially of 50 or more homers before the month of September. There's a couple duplicates in here. Can you name the players? There's going to be a couple layups in here. So Judge is one of them. You already have one. There's 9 more, and there are 2 players that come up twice on this list. So let's see if you can crack this list of 10 players, really 9, with the most homers before September, which are all 50.
Sosa for sure.
Sosa comes up 3 times, by the way.
Yeah, remember he did it a couple times, yeah.
98, 99, he had 55, and he also had 52 in 2001.
I'm going to go with, obviously, Big Mac. Big Mac's got to be on the list. Barry Bonds has to be on the list. You would assume Roger Maris and Mickey Mantle have been on the list.
Man, so you said McGuire, Bonds,
Mantle,
Maris. Mantle is not on the list. You're missing 2 players here. One is kind of a layup because it was in the comments before this of his teammate.
Oh, is it? Well, his teammate. I wasn't reading the comments. That goes to me. But was it? I don't know. I'm just going to not waste our time here.
Giancarlo.
Giancarlo. Well, you said that earlier. I thought, okay, yeah, Giancarlo Stanton did it.
So there's one more. There's one more. I'm going to disappear from the screen for a second while you take a guess.
One more. Let me think. One more player with 50 plus, and we already said Giancarlo. I'm going to go with Frank Thomas. Let's get weird. Let's go weird with Frank Thomas.
Ooh, that's a good guess. What would you say if I told you it was a Diamondback?
Luis Gonzalez, that one year he went nuts?
Luis Gonzalez, wow. 51 homers in 2001.
Real talk. Why doesn't he get busted for steroids? There's no way. Him and Brady Anderson. How did Brady Anderson not make the list that year he went nuts?
Yeah, allegedly. I'll tell you something off air that I was told from a baseball player. Actually, you know what? Here, I'm going to do this in the chat real quick. Just let's get your reaction. All right, that player confirmed.
Of all players, that to tell you things.
That's why you can't say those things out it's definitely something that's out there. It's something that is out there. But regardless of the point, very good. I think he did a really good job. I thought Roger Maris would have got me. Luis Gonzalez, I actually might have got as a Diamondback fan. But again, Sosa comes up 3 times on that list. Barry Bonds, Judge. It's like hallowed ground that he that he ends up getting in that spot. And there you go. Aaron Judge, 50 homers, one of only 7 players to do it before the month of September.
Did you hear what Judge, real quick before we move on, did you hear what Judge said when someone asked him about the home run record?
No.
He believes Bond's record is real because he said everybody was doing them. He said, I'll try to beat the American League one and hopefully beat the Major League one at some point in time.
I love that.
Yep. He had no problem. He didn't skip a beat. It was beautiful.
They're kind of in that same place too, where it's like, we're at the point of like, can we just accept that this was an era of baseball, not like a tarnish of baseball? Like baseball's had lots of different tarnished levels and football's had similar. I mean, it's all whatever. To disavow the greatest players in the history of our game is still asinine at this point, and it's still obnoxious. And
so it was good to hear Judge say it. It was good to hear it on the big stage. Like, it was nice to hear.
Yeah, as he's just cranking homers and gets his 50th, and he still believes it. The top prospect in baseball, yes, Corbin Carroll made his major league debut last night. I almost went. We almost got there. Actually, on the In This League Baseball podcast, Bubba Bogman was getting so annoyed with me. He just sent me money. He sent me money to go, and I was like, that wasn't the problem, dude. And I just couldn't make it, and I really wish I would have, because the Diamondbacks came back. Actually, Diamondbacks came back from a 7-0 deficit, which they've never done in the history of the franchise, which is something I had no idea about, but they talked 400 million times about. They were down 7-0 early. They scored 6 runs in the 4th, 6 runs in the 5th, and Corbin Carroll played a role. He had a bad error at the beginning of the game where he misjudged a slide on a Bryce Harper ball, which went for a double. Ended up scoring a run, but he went 1 for 5. He had a double, his first career hit, 2 runs, 2 RBI, and he was kind of one of the linchpins of getting the thing going. So I ask you how excited and how into the performance of Corbin Carroll you were. The other thing I would note that was said in the broadcast is that Hazen came out before the game and said, listen, he is playing. We did not bring him here to just hang out. He is playing while he's here the rest of the way. So that is going to give everybody a nice little peace of mind moving forward with Corbin Carroll.
No, this is outstanding. We've talked about him. You've talked about him, that this is one of the best prospects, especially fantasy-wise, in all of baseball right now. His speed, his power, his hit tool. I was like picturing you doing the South Park meme where, the dad gets done with the computer when because I saw you posting about his opposite field double and everything, and I'm like,
so nice.
He's the real deal. He's the real deal. So it was great to see, and I think he's going to be a huge pickup this week in your weekly fab leagues, and the fact they did say he's going to play every day is tremendous. So, yeah, it's definitely worth it. And the D-backs, they're building something. If they can figure out the pitching, like, they got a young nucleus on offense that's actually pretty intriguing.
They're a sneaky little team. And, we talked about the tough questions with Corbin Carroll of, like, would you drop Whit Merrifield? And we went through it, and it's like, listen, it's just at this point you have that short, process with all of your guys. If you've got guys that are performing great right now, and also just know your risk. I mean, I think what you can feel good about is seeing him out there. The double I tweeted about, it was quintessential Corbin Carroll. It was exactly the type of player that he is, that he can turn on a ball because he's got incredibly great bat speed. Obviously, he's still kind of slight of build, which I know even Bogman texted me. He's like, I don't even think I remember him being this skinny. He is, but the dude is rocked to the size that he is. But he could turn on a ball with great bat speed. He barrels the balls up and he gets homers. That's why he's got 24 between double and triple A. But what you also see is the advanced hitter that he is, that he went down into the zone and was able to pop that up. I mean, talk about Luis Gonzalez, very almost Luis Gonzalez-ish like, that was a little bit more of a blooper in the World Series, but, going and spreading the gap between left and center. Corbin Carroll's just a smart hitter, and he is blazing fast. If you had actually watched the game as well, he had his very first hit was a pop as a grounder that was just popped up, and the dude, I mean, he almost beat it. It's wild speed. So, if you got him, good for you. I think it's going to pay off a little bit. He should be playing every single day in this, according to team management. And it's a pretty good start with 2 runs and 2 RBI in that performance. We talked about this as well, the complete implosion of Josh Hader.
Yeah.
I had said over the weekend on a show on The Wire, which is Pitcher List podcast, and I think I had said it here as well. I am a Nick Martinez guy, and even though he didn't have the save opportunity, I believe it was last week, or he did like 4 or 5 days without going. He had a few. Josh Hader blew up again. Nick Martinez on Monday went 1 1/3 of an inning against the Giants. He got his 7th save of the year, and he looks to be getting a little bit more confidence as Josh Hader continues to implode. So how big or how important do you think it is to pick up Nick Martinez right now? Or do you think it's still this like going to be this turnstile situation? They keep wanting Hader to do anything. He can't, but could it go to Luis Garcia? Could it go to Nick Martinez? What do you think?
I would definitely pick up Nick Martinez. Don't go crazy because you wouldn't be shocked if Luis Garcia gets one. And eventually they want Hader to have the job. So if he like fires off a couple nice 7th innings and an 8th inning, Hader's going to get back his closer's gig. That's just the way it's going to work. I like Martinez quite a bit, though. Like he's shown some really good stuff. He was starting earlier in the year, but he just didn't have the longevity multiple times through the rotation. Bullpen, he's been great. So this is a perfect fit for him. And the fact he could go inning and a third last night, it's because of that starting experience. He's not just a lock-in, 3-out guy. So that's going to be really big for a team that overall bullpen is struggling tremendously. So I like it a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, and I had picked him up in a couple spots, and I guess he did. Yeah, he went like a 6-day marker. He went between the 21st and the 27th without a save is really what I was getting at, or an appearance. So he had went from Sunday to Saturday between saves. And that was kind of what I was talking about as Jack was going and saying he got 2 last week. He had one on Sunday, the 21st, one on Saturday, the 27th, and then he got another one on Monday. So getting kind of, almost back-to-back Saturday and Monday ones is a really big positive. These are the type of guys, if you're able to hit on them correctly, are going to be imperative for your playoff push. Getting these cheap saves. I've got a couple keeper leagues where I just couldn't break the seal on closers. It was a deeper league. It's a 16-team league. I've got, because it's a keeper league also, I've got incredible hitters. I got incredible staffs, pitching staffs. I mean, we're talking like, I've got one where it's DeGrom and Verlander and Garrett Cole and Burns. It's stupid. But I didn't get closers. And, 16-team league is even tougher. So I have had to continuously scour the wire all season long, picking up the small little rides of the Hunter Stricklands and, if Pagan was getting a save. And Nick Martinez was one I made a couple weeks ago in anticipation, or really right when this Hader thing happened. It looked a little slow, but these are the type of moves. Just jump on it if you can. Obviously, decide for your own league if, you need those. Maybe you need more spots for streaming pitchers or whatnot. But I have been putting out the garbage closing crew, and hopefully he's one that can help. On the injury front, Tony Gonsolin was placed on the 15-day IL with a right forearm strain. No bueno. Rowdy Tellez left Monday's game with right knee discomfort. Nick Castellanos sat out Monday's game due to turf toe. Joey Bart was removed from yesterday's game due to concussion protocols, and Teoscar sat out the series opener versus the Cubs with left foot soreness. How quick, this is kind of a bigger question, how quick are you going to be to the trigger on injuries like this with the playoffs? Here's an example also. I think it was Wonky said she saw a league that Hader was already dropped in. Between Hader and guys sitting, I mean, Teoscar maybe not so much, but I don't know. Nick Castellanos kind of jumps out to me. He's had a hot run, but the overall numbers are kind of whatever. If guys are missing extended periods of time, I'm not saying to go drop him. How quick to the trigger are you going to be on getting rid of some of these guys for any type of streaming option for playoff runs?
Pretty quick, as long as it's like multiple week injury. Like, Nestor Cortez might be back next week, so it's like not the end of the world. It's a regular IL stint. If it's gonna be like a long-term deal, like, Tyler Mahle, I dropped him right away. Guys like that where you just like pull the pen and go and move on, because you need those numbers. You can't just be holding guys right now. You need all options on deck. And just a segue, Justin Verlander just got put on the 15-day IL with an injury I've never heard of in my life, because I did not stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night, but it's a fascial disruption, but no muscle fiber disruption. Couldn't tell you what that means. But yeah, so like, do you drop Justin Verlander? Probably not. I at least wait a little bit longer to see what the full diagnosis is. But if it's a 3 to 4 week deal, that's gone for me. Like, you just drop him and move on.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. No muscle fiber disruption.
I have no idea what this is.
Will address report. This just came down like minutes ago, like 4. That's why I didn't see it. 4 or 5 minutes ago, he was placed on the 5. Yeah, I mean, you got to be picking and choosing and dropping some of these guys. I don't know. Like I said, like a Castellanos might be one I consider when these guys are sitting. Teoscar, I probably wouldn't, but quick on the trigger. That's a good question. Nick Martinez or AJ Puck?
Martinez, because he has the job.
Yeah, exactly. Oakland disaster, right?
I love Puck. I've said for like almost 2 years now he should be the closer, but they just won't give it to him full time.
Yeah. Yeah, well, someday we might actually see it. I'd love to see him do that too, because he's not going to be a starter. He's just never going to be a starter with this team. This day in baseball, 1918. Yes, just like it was yesterday. The New York Giants beat the Brooklyn Dodgers 1-0 in a game that every parent would dream of when you go to a game with your kids, or, I would say like a wife that texts you constantly, and maybe even like last night. 57 minutes. The game took 57 minutes. What were they doing? How do you play? We can barely play a game of MLB The Show in 57 minutes. What were they doing? I don't know how they did it, but it was 1918, so stuff was crazy back then. Also on the trivia question, I've got one more for you. This is actually on the Judge front. I don't know, I think you guys should be able to get this. The trivia question is, who are the 3 New York Yankee players with multiple 50 home run seasons? So the question I asked you before was homers before September. So who are the 3 Yankee players with multiple 50 home run seasons? Because if I remember this correctly, I believe Aaron Judge's, this was his second of his career that he just got. Yeah, the 2017 and 2022. So 2 other players that had 50 or homer or more seasons. Who are that said players? Do you have a guess?
Man, how is this Mantle not on there? But is he on there?
He is.
Okay, Alex,
multiple homer seasons now.
What about Babe Ruth?
Babe Ruth is the other one.
Yeah, I was like, that's got to be Babe. Like the Bambino's got to be on there.
Yeah, that's okay. Go Card said Gehrig at Judge. So check this out. It was Mantle in 56 and 61, Judge in 17 and 22. And this is going to, I saw Bogman's in the chat. Make him go away so he doesn't hear this. Babe Ruth in 20, 21, 27, and 28 of the 19s, by the way, for the kids at home. 4 seasons of 50 or more homers there. So lots of 50 homer talk. All right, let's go over to the stat heroes. Tyler O'Neill, been on a little bit of a tear recently. 2 homers, 2 for 4, 3 RBI, 3 run. Hit that, I think it was Saturday or Sunday, hit that big bomb after Goldie and Arenado had gotten out. Albert Pujols, 694. Are we getting there? We have 1 month to get there, Bubba. I think we're getting there. We need 6 home runs from the Pujols. Are we getting it?
Yes, I think we are getting it. It's crazy to watch them continue to do it. And they keep playing him more and more, not just against lefties. So I think they want to see it too.
Yes. Oh, man. I want to see. I mean, the anarchist in me wants to see him get to like 698 or 99 and then like see what he's going to do. See if he's going to like play like one more year or, play, one more week next season or what the hell's going to happen. But that's the anarchist in me. Corey Dickerson, 3 for 5, a homer, an RBI, 2 runs. Danny Jansen, 2 for 5 with a bomb. And Kyle Schwarber, 2 for 5, a homer, 4 RBIs against the Arizona Diamondbacks. We also had Brandon Drury back in action, 2 for 4 with a homer, 3 RBIs. Garrett Mitchell, rookie Garrett Mitchell, who I think even yesterday, I think it might have been on ITL, had said, I'm not in love with Garrett Mitchell like some are. He's got kind of across his body swing that I think he'll make contact, and he's obviously going to hit some homers, but it's not going to be elite. Stone Garrett, 2 for 5 with a homer, 2 RBIs for the Diamondbacks. Big muscle Garrett. Aaron Judge and O'Neill Cruz, 1 for 4 with a homer, 3 RBIs. I didn't get the EV on it from the interwebs, which I'm surprised about, Bubba.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'm with you. It was quite surprising, but it's good to see these young guys getting it going. And Garrett seemed like he lost his gig for a bit when Marte and company came back, but to get him back out there with Garrett Mitchell also from Milwaukee, it's good to see the young boys getting it done.
Yeah. Diamondbacks are going to be one of those sources of like, if you're just looking for bodies out there on given days in bigger leagues, take a look at it. Take a look. Stone Garrett is he's quite the physical specimen, if I must say so for myself. But I don't know. Like I see right here, Jim's was saying Stone Garrett, big blow for Alek Thomas. He's not. I think they just gave Alek Thomas the day off. Alek Thomas is this team's center fielder. He is slumping, but I don't think it's going to be like if you look at the placement of what they did, it's Stone Garrett played in place of Varsho, and McCarthy played in place of Alek Thomas. Stone Garrett's not going to go and play center field. That is Alek Thomas's job. Varsho they're going to put out in left. That's the outfield for next year. It is Varsho, Thomas, and Corbin Carroll. So Stone Garrett's fun and everything like that, but he's not anybody I'm looking to pick.
What about McCarthy? He's been pretty productive.
I think McCarthy's the perfect fourth outfielder. I think he's
Okay.
the perfect fourth outfielder. You put him out. I mean, I believe aren't all of those outfielders lefties? I know Carroll and Thomas are, and Varsho.
Varsho is, yeah.
Yeah, they might need to screw around and play a little bit. And McCarthy, I think, is the perfect fourth outfielder. He's been, and I think it's like Varsho goes and catches over here, McCarthy plays, and then Varsho takes a replacement for Carroll. That's going to be the move. Stone Garrett, fun, but I don't think permanent. On the pitcher side for the Heroes, Jose Suarez, 6 innings, 2 earned runs, 6 strikeouts. Javier Assad went 5, but only struck out 1. He needed 3 strikeouts on the prop yesterday. He only got 1. Pablo Lopez went 6, struck out 6, did give up a couple earned runs, and Mike Clevenger 5, 3 strikeouts, 2 earned runs. You can tell the pitching performances were like meh because all those guys were giving up earned runs pretty much, and they were the heroes. But there are plenty of zeros. Speaking of Jake McCarthy, 0 for 4, 3 strikeouts.
Segue.
Out perfect on cue. Segue. 0 for 4. Biggest loser on the list.
It's like we know what we're doing around here.
Yeah, exactly. Paul Goldschmidt, 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. Michael Chavis, 0 for 5 with 3 strikeouts. And Andrew Vasquez had 3 Ks. The pitchers, Madison Bumgarner. Dude, they were... If you guys are watching this game, Bumgarner, he only went 3 2/3, gave up 7 earned runs, 11 hits. And they kept like really focusing on it. But there's this one shot of him sitting in the dugout where he's just like if you can see my face, if you're listening on the podcast, he looks so defeated. He's got to hate this team, all these young kids, because in the first inning, I told you that that double by Harper was Corbin Carroll missing on a slide. And you could just feel Bumgarner being like, put me anywhere but here. I can't believe they didn't trade him at the deadline. It's obviously due to his stupid contract. He's got to go to another team because they were talking about how he's working with the pitching analytics team right now. They're trying to change everything they possibly can, but it's not going to help when you just throw, BP fastballs down the middle to major league players.
Yeah, he's just not good. Like, he's not good anymore. The bullets aren't in the gun. He's done. As Wonky just said, done.
Yeah, Bumgarner is done. Chase Anderson went 1 1/3, gave up 5 earned runs, walked 1, gave up 4 hits. Carlos Rodon, 4 innings, 5 earned runs, 4 walks. Did he not have a strikeout either? Really? Carlos Rodon?
That's surprising.
That's no bueno. Over on the home run board, speaking of, I was actually thinking there would have been quite a few Goldie calls. There weren't. But fun fact, on the top of the leaderboard, there was pretty much only 3 players taken across the board. They're all playing the same route, and there's a little bit of movement happening. So let's go to it right now. There you go. D. Blum is still in the lead at 49, who took Nolan Arenado. Go Cards and High Cubby, they took the same player. You guys got to get tricky here because you guys are all taking the same players. You both moved up to 47, which I guess at the end of the day is all that really matters. We had Mayer move up to 44 with Shohei Ohtani. There was a Judge call. So it was literally Arenado, Ohtani, and then I guess there was a Judge and a Devers in there. But everybody on this list, you guys are all picking the same guys. So it is going to be a wild race. D. Blum still near the top, but the gap is closing for all these suckers. And some pretty impressive numbers there, Bubba, as far as the homer score go. I mean, 49 called homers. That is almost as much as Judge has hit. So we're getting going.
Yeah, you're looking to set the record, folks. Is this the AL record or the MLB record? We'll find out.
Yeah, it's still my favorite thing. It's like to think that us sitting here, every single day, we just call a homer. We can't eclipse the marker of a player who's playing the game. We can't do that.
Impressive.
Maybe that's why he's a AL MVP overall. Let's go over to our friends, though, over at BetMGM. Yes, let's bring it back. We're going to put on the crown. We're going to put it there. There's the mini one. I got hair going today, though, so I don't want to mess it up. Let's see. What's a good look? Oh, there's a good look. Look like a superhero, right? It's Wealthy Danvers.
You're on The Boys.
Yeah, I am on The Boys. Yeah, I look like
you look like you're on The Boys.
Yeah, I do look like I'm on The Boys. What's my boy's character name? Just don't put it in the
we
chat.
can't say it on this show.
Nope. Betting Pros, BetMGM. Go and check them out today. Use the promo code Leading Off. When you do so, you can get $1,000 risk-free bet. All the kings, all the queens, whether you wear the crown or the tiara, you can make bets with BetMGM and our promo code Leading Off. Go and do it today. And we got more game used crowns there, Bubba. Bogman and I got a little event coming up on our Degenathon we're gonna do on our Twitch of gathering money to make an incredible bet. We might have to give away one of those game used tiaras there. That might be the place. But for now, let's talk about some bets. So over at Betting Pros, their MLB prop cheat sheet is awesome. It's an incredible tool, even if you use it just to like get you in the right direction. So I've taken the top total base and the top strikeout prop, and then I've taken the top of each one of those. That's plus money. So I'm giving you the number one overall and the number one plus money. So the number one in strikeouts is Mike Mayers, who has got a strikeout prop of 3.5, projected over 5, and it is minus 170 on DraftKings. So if you guys want to make that bet, pretty juiced up. That's the number one strikeout prop as far as their algorithm goes. The number one plus money prop is over at our friends at BetMGM with Brady Singer. Brady Singer, 5.5 strikeouts plus 125 projected at a little over 6. BetMGM plus 125 Brady Singer strikeouts. On the total bases, you've got Mr. Nathaniel Lowe, who has been red freaking hot this season. Boy, 22 homers, 300 batting average at first base. You got to love it. You only need one hit for him, total base. But the problem is it's juiced to hell, minus 215. So you're going to have to put it into like a hit total base parlay if you would like one or two guys to get to plus money. I think you can easily find it. And maybe it can be with the top plus money guy here, who is Shohei Ohtani against the Yankees. You get plus 105 on 1.5 total bases. He's projected at 2.5. So Bubba, you got Nate Lowe, Ohtani total bases, Singer strikeouts. You got Mayers on the strikeouts. What do you like out of this list, if any?
Well, Lowe is a great one, but it's juicier than juicy. So Singer's probably my favorite one at plus money. The dude's been amazing. Pretty much getting you 6 or more Ks in most starts, going deep into games, and the White Sox are just crippled right now offensively. So I like the Singer one quite a bit.
Okay, I like the Singer. I actually like both the hitting props. That would
both of them are good.
I would totally be cool, and they're both on DraftKings. Put those together, you're probably going to get, I'm trying to think of like the math in my head. You might get like 150, like 135 plus if you put them both together, because you got one, plus 105, and then you got one on the minus 200. I'd put those two together, and I think those two could work if you want to do it. So go check them out. Use promo code leading off on BetMGM. Over on the DFS side, I got some FanDuel prices for you. Pitchers that I thought were interesting. Shane McClanahan, 11-2. Cole Irvin, maybe the most interesting to me. If I were playing on DraftKings, I didn't see some of the prices, but if I were doing dual pitchers, I'd make sure Cole Irvin was in there at 8-6. George Kirby at 9-2. Max Fried at 10-5, and Framber Valdez at 10-9. All pitchers on FanDuel I'd look at with implied run totals over 5 for these 4 teams: St. Louis, Atlanta, Milwaukee, and the Yankees, Bubba. So what do you think about the pitchers? Any stacks, any specific players for DFS?
When it comes to pitching, I love the like on DK, the price on Singer, Gossman, and Kirby are great. Don't mind Cole Irvin, and if you're punting, Matt Manning's been very, very good. So I like that one as well. And then stacking up, I love Atlanta tonight. But New York, Boston, Milwaukee, and Pittsburgh could be sneaky. Pittsburgh could be quite sneaky against Mr. Seinfeld himself.
Yeah, and go and take a look at, guys hitting in like the top 3 or 4 in the order, especially on the bad teams. You might be able to piece together some cheaper players. Finally, let's end it out with the home run call. Bubba, you've hit these, and you've actually hit, I want to say, 2 of the last 3. Is that right? 2 of the last
like
3
that.
times.
I think I got 3. I got 3 or 4 this year.
Yeah, at least 2 of the last 4. You're at least 50% over your last 4 here. So who are you gonna call on the home run tonight?
I said I love the Braves tonight. I think Jose Urena is a scrub. So give me the red hot Matt Olson. Going Matt Olson on that one.
So here's the tip. Here's the tip for everybody is go and look when Bubba quote tweets, because I always love I'm always like, I don't know the logic. And that's clearly the logic now is he will quote.
You picked up on it now?
I picked up on it because there was a nice Matt Olson. I was like, oh, look at Matt Olson, his pretty smile up there. And that was just because the home run call. It wasn't because he was just smiling because Bubba was on the show. I like that. I'm going to go with a back-to-back. I'm going to go with Ohtani. I'm going to give me Ohtani today. That's why also I love the total base call. I will say I have this incredible knack for picking players that do not actually hit their homer, but always have 1 to 2 bases and hitting the total base prop on it. So a logic is whenever I end up finding my home run guy, I like to go and put them over onto the total base prop. So I feel even better about my Shohei Ohtani one. This happened with Christian Walker, I think, last night. And that's what, actually, he may not have even hit it, but he had a couple, I don't remember if he had a couple hits, but he had a couple walks and doing all the business. So I would go with the Ohtani prop. We've also got Wonky with Paul Goldschmidt today. So Paul Goldschmidt getting back in the action. And it'll be exciting to see where all these guys have, where Go Cards, who's making some run, where D Blum has, and the contest is getting very, very close. Bubba, what's going on in your world? I think you just said your last Fantasy Pros baseball column just dropped, right?
It should drop it should be already on there. I submitted it last night. So the risers and fallers from week 20. You mentioned Nathaniel Lowe. He is in there. So I got that going. Bench with Bubba coming at you multiple times a week for season-long fantasy. MLB DFS quick hits for DFS Monday through Friday. So always something going on in my world. Just follow me on Twitter.
There you go. Look at Dr. Glenn. He's making up for last week. He felt bad. He says, I threw a no-hitter today. I definitely didn't throw a no-hitter today. Stumbling a little bit, but I appreciate that. Put that on the stat board. Let's see what my ERA is. Dr. Glenn in the house. You guys can find me on all the normal stuff and things. Bogman and I just dropped an episode of In This League. We've got some live streaming going on today, but it's some fantasy football content over at twitch.tv/inthisleague, and follow me on Twitter at @isitthewelsh. What do you have here?
What Wonky's comment?
I'm only sad I can't see Welsh and Bubba hug after the no hit. We'll fake hug. We'll go this way. Hey, we did it. Wait, let's do a high five. Let's do a There we go. There we go. Okay. Dumb and Dumber, folks. That's the show. Thank you guys for hanging out. Bubba will be back on Thursday. It's Wonky Wednesday tomorrow. I am the Welsh. That's Bubba. You guys have a great day. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Peace.